Hey YouTube, welcome back to Get Wrenching. I'm your host Murray. What are we doing today? Well, today we are looking at this beautiful 2008 Ford Ranger that I just recently purchased. So sit back, relax, grab yourself a sandwich and a beverage because we're going to tear into this. Okay YouTube, welcome back to the channel. By the way, I know it's been probably a year since I've done a video. Full calendar year, but I'll tell you, at work it's been busy, so now I'm starting to get a little slower at work. I can start bringing you some more content, so I decided to buy this beautiful 2008 Ford Ranger. Now here in the Maritimes we have this stuff called salt. This style of Ranger was not known to last the salt. Also, you may be surprised, I'm not really what you call a Ford guy. Used to work on lots of Fords because the place I worked at, we were a sub-dealer for Ford. So I kind of know these things good. So I was always taught, 1,000 horsepower, anyway, I was always taught it's always better to deal with the devil you know than the devil you don't know. So I figured, pick this up. It was a cheap truck that the neighbor had. Asked me one day to come down. It threw a belt. He asked me if I could put it on. I said sure, no problem. Next thing you know, lo and behold, he was offering it to me for a good price, and because the tensioner pulley had fell off. And then when I was at work one day, the wife decided to go over and buy it. So here we are. Now I'm going to bring you in a little closer and we'll take a look at this thing. We'll really eyeball it up because this is going to set the series for me fixing it up, me and the young fella, because this could either turn into a hot rod Ranger or it could just turn into a flipper. So let's bring you in closer. So I'm just going to apologize for the wind. It is March here, Kanakistan, or everyone calls it. So the wind's blowing 1,000 miles an hour. So if the wind blows a little bit, I'm sorry. I've got my microphone and got my squirrel tail on it, but I may not stop it. But anyway, let's not jibber on that. Let's bring you in closer here. So on this Ranger, we got the typical Ford delamination of the badge. I think, headlights, just standard plastic. Seems like in pretty good shape. Maybe a little cleanup. Do got some paint chips in the hood. Got a little whiskey dent. Rims, seen better days. Got a little blister there. A couple little blisters there on the front fender. Looks like someone's been in here and done some homemade body work. Now the rocker panels are solid, believe it or not. Bottom of the door's got a couple of spots of rough. This truck was actually a town truck where I live here, town of Shelburne, and you still see the outline of the sticker that used to be on the door. I remember this truck when it was brand new and they got it. Box, it's got the typical Nova Scotia weight reduction, separation on the inside here, so she's a little hinge. I think it may have been an option back in the day in 2008. No, it wasn't. So this is a salt option after about that many years being exposed. We got a good gash here. The bumper. Oh, okay. Right on the tailgate's got the release option, automatic tilt tailgate maybe. Yeah. Just give me a minute here. We'll get that back up. Okay. Now I got the tailgate back up in place. So what I was showing you is the bumper here. It's got, you know, that's seen better days. That's for sure. You know, we got rust all the way up to the tailgate. I can't wait to dive into this box. This is going to be good. This is YouTube. People don't understand. This is why we don't do a lot of revivals here in Nova Scotia, because this is, you know, this is what you got. Like, that's the bumper. Here's the passenger side. Like, we're talking hardcore rust right up into the tail light. Like, look in here. This is what I'm saying about rust. Yeah, these Rangers and rust here, they were not good. Not good. Yeah, we got, you know, more here. More flappy here. At least this side, we don't have the rust like we do. The other side is just dirt in here. They always said the driver's side here in Eastern Canada is always the worst side because it's the salt side, where all the salt kind of just gathers to the center from, like, your left lane of traffic, or yeah, your left lane of traffic is coming at you, and you're in the right lane. You got all that salt and stuff being pushed from the vehicles to the metal, and of course you hit that a little bit, and of course it gets all that packed up in there. The frame doesn't seem too bad. It does have a spot that I found on the driver's side, in the typical Ranger spot, which I'll show you here in a minute. The rear rims are sort of the same as the other. Tires on the back aren't all that crap hot. This side here too, rocker panels, believe, you know, hard to believe it's solid. The door, on the other hand, is a little more rustic on this side. It might need a little piece put into it, nothing major. This side here is, like I said, on the other side, it looked like someone had given a little attention to the paint peeling, and it's got the same sort of rust thing on this side, like on the bottom of the fender. Now, we do have, well, fairly new snow tires, believe it or not, both on the front. As you can see, they're in pretty good shape. Now, I'll get you pop the hood there, Alex. Bring you underneath the hood here. Do this one-handed. Struggle is real. Probably me heavily breathing. Okay. Now I got the hood open here. Here's this powerful 2.3. I actually put this coil on for him. You can see down here we got a shiny new belt tensioner I put on. I ordered from, you know, the Jungle website there, like Amazon, because the local parts store wanted $123 for it, and that was $43 off the Amazon, like 2 days. So gotta stay cheap on the truck. I was gonna go to the junkyard, get one. I said, by the time I pay for gas, go all the way out there, get one, come back and put it on. No, just put a new one on it. The battery in this truck, it's got a date onto it, 4/22. I put it on the trickle charger because where it didn't have the belt, starting up a couple times, I'd say killed the battery, because I had to put a booster pack on this just to get it from over there where that Subaru was parked, that BRZ, it was parked just beside it. I drove it up here. I had to put a booster pack on it just to get it to here, exactly where it's at. So I charged the battery up and put that belt tensioner on and made it better. So what I got underneath the hood here, we got some pine spills and stuff going on up there. If we don't get to that, there'll be more rust. Rad support is sort of a little crispier than I want. You know, I can see some good rust here. You can see along there. Might be able just to clean that up a little bit. Put a little paint onto it after I get the rust cut off, and I'm not going to replace it, of course. That'd be crazy. Let's go into the interior here, see what Alex is doing. So we just got, you know, your basic standard roll-up windows, manual door locks. This is what I like in one of these trucks. Cheap. This truck was a work truck. It's got floor mats in it. This side, it's got a good solid floor. Like I said, the rocker panels are all good here. We do have a little rust hole starting here, so I'm going to take care of that now. I'm the type, believe, cut it out, get rid of it now. Seat belt thing, oh, I thought it was real rusty, but it's just surface rust. Good, we got rid of that. Seats, you know, little stains, he's little wore, you know. It was a work truck, like I said, it was for a town truck. So these things are probably wore with dirty clothes and stuff like that, you know. Dash is pretty basic, got just a basic radio. Just regular heat. Someone put in an optional, you know, USB charger, bring her up to the, you know, 22nd century here. We got 149,800 and what was that? Say, Alex?
70.
Yeah, 70. Right on. Oil change isn't due for 152,500. Bonus. We got your passenger side airbag, driver side airbag. Alex is about, I'd say he's 5'12", almost 6 foot, and he fits in there pretty good. That's with the seat all the way back. I actually fit pretty comfortable in this truck. Driver's seat's not too bad. It does got 2 cup holders here that you can put stuff in there, but I put a coffee cup in there this morning and almost upset it. I don't recommend it. Truck did come with this toolbox. See, there's the fabulous belt tensioner that came from A Premium, which I ordered an intake from these guys on eBay for my old Valero. There's the old tensioner over there, what's left of it. This has kind of come off wing nuts. Me and Alex are actually getting ready to, that's why this toolbox is here. Getting ready to take this box off this truck, so you'll be seeing that here soon. I'll be in another video. Came with these optional paint cans. I don't know if that was a Ford add-on, but it was gently tucked up underneath there. Come with a box liner that here in Nova Scotia, if anyone doesn't know, if you don't take out and spray some undercoating underneath of it, just rots the boxes out. And of course, right up in the forward seam where all the water would lay, and just, you know, keep everything nice and moist, it's rotted out in there. Surprise. So, bring you to the driver's side. Hop out, Alex, for a second, little buddy. So here, guys, this is where the problems lie. Real problems. I'm not really worried about the box, because if I want to, I'll flat deck that in a heartbeat and still be able to sell it, no problem at all. This here, they don't make panels for Rangers like this, so this is all going to have to be made, which I can do. I still have a shape here to go off of, and I can make a template and be able to cut this out. This is good solid metal right here, believe it or not. If I have to, I'll bring the edge of the metal down to here, make that fold up, and replace this. The floor, the seat belt here in Nova Scotia is optional, I guess. The floor here, one good axle on that, and you're, you know, anyway, I don't know if you can see up good underneath there how, you know, how good a weight reduction she is. Yeah, pretty cool, huh? Oh, nice. Showing her up at me here now. What is going on? Okay, now driver's seat's got a little bit of wear. Not bad for 149,000 kilometers. A lot of town kilometers on this truck, guys, right? Because it's a town truck, so it didn't do a lot of highway driving, I can guarantee you that. Now, let's go back to the box here, to the tailgate, because this is, I wonder if this is going to fall out at me again. Oh, you can hear the rust in that. So you can see down here, guys, in the box. Oh yeah, in the tailgate here, she's just crispy, eh? Like I'm saying, like this is too far gone. I've already tried to look for a box just to see if I can find one cheap, and I haven't been able to find one cheap here in Nova Scotia. The only one that's in the area is an Ergo, and the guy wants $2,800 for a short. This is a short wheelbase truck right? This is not the long box, this is a short box. I know the Rangers are popular here. They were popular at one point in time because they were cheap truck when they were done this series of Ranger. I don't know what they call this series, but of course this is gonna fight me again. Oh yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. I don't think that latch is over there now. Oh yeah, this box is, she is toast, look. Oh yeah, she is toast. Yeah, like I said. No, this series Ranger truck was a very popular selling truck here when I worked at the garage. When they sold these, like, they sold a lot of them. I like these little Rangers. I am not a Ford guy. I hate to admit it. Certain things off of Ford I like the 9-inch Ford rear end. Pretty robust stuff, you know. C6 automatic they had was a pretty robust transmission. But the vehicle wise, I was a Fox body Mustang guy. Don't know why. I do like the 69 Mustang. That was one of my favorites in 67, 68. I guess you'd say 67, 68, 69 Mustang. Fox body Mustang. The Crown Victoria. I did like the F-150s, the F-Series trucks right up until 1996. After that, 97 to 2004. And then after, like, I could tolerate those ones. Then after, from 2004 onward, no, you couldn't give me one of them. But the Ranger, well, that's where a Ranger has a special thing in my heart. I don't know why. One of my good buddies that passed, he had one. He done it up, and I seen how tough that truck was. Like, that truck had well over 600,000 onto it, when he bought it. And then he rolled it once, still had the 4-cylinder into it. Like, the speedometer stopped working that thing, and he drove that thing, I don't know for how long. I'd say a couple years to the rug. Then he decided to pull a 4-cylinder out. After the 2-3 years of torture he put it through and put a 350 in it. But I'm telling you, that 2.3, that was a 97, I believe, and that took some torture. My other buddy, he had a 1988, I think it was. His was a 2.9 in it, 5-speed 4-drive. That was the same scenario. That did have 550,000 on it. Speedometer stopped working. He got it from his dad, tortured it for like 2 or 3 years to the rug. And wow, what that engine stuff took. That engine's still running today. And Buddy's just taking it out of the Bronco. It's still running. And he never put a wrench on the engine. He took it out of said Ranger, put it in his Bronco too, and drove it. I'm telling you, and never put a wrench on it. Didn't change no gaskets, nothing. And that 2.9 is still running. Well, was till now. He's putting a big block in it. But anyway, you might see that on an off-roading video maybe coming up. But this Ranger here, this style Ranger, short, you know, economical 4-cylinder. Thinking really hard of either putting turbo in this 2.3. Maybe. This is a maybe. Maybe turbo in this 2.3. Maybe putting a 302 in it. And then turbo in the 302. Keeping the 302 stock. Turbo in a stock 302. And this little Ranger would probably be pretty cool. Always want to do that. Or just leave it as is. Drive it until I can fix that truck over there. Because that needs to go under the knife. There's going to be lots of content on that. OBS to all Chev, because that needs body mounts, the rear shocks, the base pan gasket, the rear exhaust. So I got to take that off the road. This thing to be on the road should get me by, you know, I can do a cheap fix on this couple weeks, and I have this on the road. That's going to take some time. Like, that needs proper body work. That's going to be at least 2 months of sanding on that Chev. So I needed something to drive, and this little Ranger is going to do it. So that's going to do it for me today, folks. If you like what you saw, please hit the like, share, and subscribe. You know, leave a comment down below if you guys had Rangers or Ranger experience. I'm telling you, I love these little trucks. I've seen how tough they were. They used to get raced around town and stuff all the time when I was a young fellow. Now I can't wait for me and the young fellow to wrench on this. And you guys and gals are going to see it. So if you do this for a hobby or a living, or, you know, maybe you're just getting into this and you want to start it, just remember, Stay safe and get wrenching. See you next time.